audience. Once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G. It's time to do another movie review. This time we're going to review the movie Relic. Yes. Now, Relic is a 2020 horror drama film. It was directed by Natalie Erika James. It's written by her and Christian White. It stars Emily Mortimer, Robin Novell, and Bella Heathcourt. Now, basically, this movie is about a daughter, a mother, and a grandmother are haunted by a manifestation of dementia that consumes their entire family's house. That's basically what the plot of this movie is. Now, there's nothing worse than seeing your parents suffering through the throes of dementia or any other type of mental illness disease, whether it's dementia or Alzheimer's disease. We try our best to take care of them just like they took care of us when we were little. Now imagine seeing deterioration of dementia in the physical sense, and this is what first-time director Natalie Erika James brings us with Relic. Now Emily Mortimer plays Kay. She's a middle-aged woman who travels with her daughter Sam when they receive a call that her mother Edna has gone missing. Now after a 3-day extensive search around the forest where Edna lives, she suddenly shows up in the kitchen right in her home like nothing's wrong. Now, of course, Edna is not happy about all the fuss that they all made about her disappearance, and other than a large bruise on her chest, she seems fine. However, as the story progresses, weird shit starts happening as the film takes the audience on a disturbing, creeping, and eerie path of Edna's slow descent into her dementia. Now, one of the things I like what Natalie does with this film is the pacing. Now, she doesn't rush things. She takes her time in building the narrative of the story. First of all, we get to see what type of relationship Kay has with Edna, the fact that she hasn't been in contact with her mother in a couple months. That's one of the things that we see going wrong with this family. We also get to see Sam's relationship with Edna and her mother Kay. Obviously, Sam is more worried about Edna despite Edna's protest that she's fine. This is a good way to develop the characters and make the audience start to care what's happening to them. It's great character development. There's a couple of scenes that we see between Kay and Sam. We see their relationship. Obviously, Sam's has her problems, and Kay wants her not to think that she's going to do anything in her life. And I like that family dramatic between Kay and Sam, Sam and Edna, and obviously with Kay and her mother. Now, Natalie also does a good job in showing Edna's condition. Now, it's never told directly to the audience that she's suffering from dementia, but we obviously know there's something wrong with Edna. Even Kay says she just forgets things. It's like that nobody wants to admit the obvious. There are some nice scenes between Edna and Sam that shows Edna's condition is getting worse. There's a good scene between those two characters, and you see what the effects have on Sam during those two scenes. And I thought that was a very great way for Natalie to show that. Now, all these scenes make you feel sad for both Sam and Edna. I know that the average horror... Now, keep in mind, I believe that the average horror fan might find this type of filmmaking slow and boring. However, I thought it was an excellent way to show what a family is going through when dealing with someone with Edna's conditioning. It kind of reminds me of some of the things that other people suffer through with family members that suffer either through a person suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia or any other mental illness. Now, things do pick up during the second and third of the film as Natalie starts to show the audience what is happening to Edna using the house as a metaphor. And I like that distinction that she does. Now, the house is dark and dreary. It's creepy looking at times. There's no bright lights, creepy sounding doors, and dark shadows. Now, this is all the hallmarks of a haunted house, but the house is not haunted. There is a great scene that takes place in the third act that shows, and again, in the physical sense, what is happening to Edna's mind as her condition gets worse. You have to get credit for cinematographer Charlie Sarnoff, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, and how he shows the dark and disturbing the house is becoming, and how Natalie shoots these scenes. Now, I won't give anything much away, but I like how everything starts to become claustrophobic as everything is starting to come in. It's just like you're seeing Edna's mind in the physical sense as the walls start closing in, and it's just very disturbing. I thought it was a great way to show that physical aspect of someone suffering from the condition that Edna's suffering from. Now, all three actresses, Emily, Robin, and Bella, do a fantastic job with Natalie and Christian's script. Emily, Emily gives Kay the frustration of what a person is going through, especially, first of all, when making the difficult decision of placing your parent or your mother in a senior care facility. That reminds me of the time when I had to make that decision to place my mother in a care facility similar to that one. My mother suffered from MS to the point where she couldn't do anything, and I did not have the training or the care to take care of her, so I had to finally do the right thing and place her in a facility. I like how the film shows the just how bleak and eerie and depressing as that place was at that point in the film. Even though the nurse does a good job of showing that she's going to be taken care of and all the precautions that they do, it's still just very sad. It's very dreary. It's very it just gives the right type of emotion and tone in that particular part of the movie. Now, Robin Neville, you might remember her. She's one of the counselors from the Matrix Reloaded and Resolutions. Is excellent as Edna. She gives Edna the stubbornness we've seen in most seniors who refuse to believe that nothing's wrong with them. They're stubborn. They think they can take care of themselves, and they don't want to leave their home because it's sort of a pride thing. She also has great chemistry with both Emily and Bella, and we believe all the women in this film love each other. I just love the camaraderie that they have, despite what's going on with Edna. There are some great scenes that she has with both Bella, and she has some great scenes with Emily. And I thought there was a great way and a great story of how Natalie mixes the two relationships with, between the mother and the daughter. Now, while this film doesn't use cheap jump scares, we do see some cliched moments, especially during the third act. There's also some scenes that I like where I think Kay is having some disturbing dreams involving her great grandfather. Those are very eerie. There's some ickiness to that particular film, that particular scene. And again, it feels as though that all that is just representing the type of mental illness that seems to run in this family. We come to find out that her great grandfather also suffered from dementia as well. If you're expecting any blood or gore, don't, because Natalie doesn't rely on that. There is a part at the end of the film where it is more disturbing, but an effective practical effect. Really drives home the point that Natalie's trying to make in her story right here, but there's really not a lot of gore or blood, just that one particular one or two practical effects in the film. So if you're expecting that, this film's probably not for you. Now, I'm sure this story will hit home for some people who had to deal with a loved one suffering from this condition that Kay's mother is facing with her mother. I'll give Natalie and Kristen credit because they could have taken this story and make it in the traditional fashion where we've seen mental illness portrayed in other horror movies. It could have taken the typical cliche route that we've seen in other horror movies that deal with mental illness. But no, they decided to take in this fashion, which I thought was a decent way to show it as far as a horror film is concerned. Like I said, it's not. You have some horror elements in it. There's some cliche moments, especially in the third act of the film. And but I really like the way how Natalie did this. What we have here is a decent, disturbing, creeping, and eerie story showing the audience in a physical sense the effects dementia may have on a person. It's very well acted. I believe it's very well acted, and I have to give Natalie credit. She did a very good job on her first movie, and I can't wait to see what she has in store for us next. So, I'm going to give Relic 3 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Yes, I'm going to give Relic 3 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. This horror film may not satisfy gorehounds or anyone else. This is a different take of, of, of a person suffering through mental illness as far as a horror movie is concerned. And again, very great job for Natalie on her first time out, and I recommend you guys see it. I believe Relic is playing on some video on demand services and on some streaming services. I thought it might have been just on Shudder. I'm not sure, but if you get a chance to watch it, once again, I implore you to watch this horror movie, Relic. I'm pretty sure it, again, is not for everybody. I know some of the people who have seen it thought it was weird, and I do agree with me because it is weird in a fun sense in a way. I know some people thought it was boring because nothing really happens during the first act of the movie, and I can understand that. But to me, I really did enjoy the film. So if you get a chance, please watch Relic. And so that's my that's my video and review of Relic. I hope you guys did enjoy, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button and ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put up new videos such as this one. Also, all my social media links will be in the description box below as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember, horror rules. I'll see you in my next video. I'm out.